Hi everybody, welcome back. Now I'm going to go through some pros and cons of buying a used caravan from either a dealership or from a private seller. There are quite a few positives and negatives, and I'm going to go through those with you right now. At the end of those pros and cons list, I've got some top tips and some top suggestions if you are wanting to buy a caravan from a private seller. Hopefully should save you a few quid. But let's start with looking at the positives at buying from a dealership. One of the biggest positives of buying from a dealership is the amount of choice. As you would have seen from my last video when I was looking at £15,000 6-berth caravans, I went into two caravans that were on paper exactly the same layout. Yet, and you could see that there was quite a bit of difference between them. Typically, if you want to look at a single layout, there will be different manufacturers, different years and different specifications for you to go and have a look at. It's something that you can do. You can walk around the caravans on the forecourt, and also there'll be layouts there that you've never even considered. So it's worthwhile checking those out. Another reason is the expert advice and add-on services. The expert advice takes the form of being able to give you advice based upon your own circumstances. So to check your car is suitable for towing the caravan. If you need any services thereafter, like insurance or finance, they will be able to guide you with the best companies and companies that they recommend. If you want any accessories added onto the caravan, you can have those installed. Things like solar panels, motor movers, air conditioning, you name it, they'll be able to help you out. When you buy from a dealership, you'll also be able to pick up a limited warranty, either in the form of an extended manufacturer's warranty or an insurance-based warranty. The point is, you can get that on your caravan at the point of purchase. It may even come with free warranty, depending on the special offers that the dealerships are offering. And before the caravan ever leaves the dealership, it should have a pre-delivery inspection and also a comprehensive handover. Those are two things that a dealership should be offering you when you purchase your caravan. Now, surprisingly, there are a few negatives when buying from a dealership, and here are just a few of them. The price will always be higher than buying from a private seller. How much that is, well, it's difficult to know, but it's a good idea to keep an eye on the private market and the dealer's market for a chosen caravan. I'm going to come back to price a bit more when we talk in the private selling section. Usually you won't find extra kit included in the caravan, so things like an aqua roll or an awning or bits and bobs that the previous owner left in the caravan. Generally, you won't find the caravan comes with any of those things. If the caravan has had extras installed onto it, for instance a solar panel or a motor mover, majority of the time those will be handed over with the caravan as well, unless the previous owner has asked for them to be removed for a part exchange deal. Another negative is that you may have to wait for your caravan. You can't just walk into a dealership saying, I'll have that one and I'll tow it away now. Generally speaking, you need to wait for that caravan to be prepared, go through its delivery inspection and then hand it over to you on a specific date. So it's not a quick thing and it can take some weeks. And if you want to know what happens from the moment you pay for your deposit to the caravan being delivered to you, click up here in the top corner. I've got a run through of what happens to your caravan behind the scenes. My last negative point on buying from a caravan dealership is the way that the dealer networks work. If you buy your caravan from dealer A and you travel 400 miles and have a fault, you can't then drop it into dealer B. Because it's not a franchised business, they're their own business in their own rights, dealer B won't want to touch it because your warranty and your guarantee is with dealer A. So it's worth bearing in mind that if you buy a caravan from a dealership, you will need to bring it back to that dealership for any warranty work or guarantee work to be completed for you. So on to the private sales. Well, there are a great deal of positives here. The first one, I've already touched upon it, is price. Private sales are cheaper than dealership sales. How much cheaper? Difficult to say, but do be aware that some people are out there to con you out of your hard-earned cash. And if it seems too good to be true, well, perhaps it is. Now in my next video, where I'm going to talk through the 11-point list of what to look for when you're buying a caravan, I actually touch upon the things to do and the things to check when buying your caravan. So I'm going to go through that with you in the next video. But right now, let's carry on with our list. Another positive when buying privately is you get extras thrown in as well. People sell their caravans privately for a number of reasons. Either they want to generate as much cash as they can in order to put forward for another caravan, or they've given up caravanning completely. Either way, you might find things like awnings are thrown in. cutlery, aqua rolls, waste masters, electric hookup cables, pumps, you name it, there may be extras thrown in with the Caravan. So in terms of a deal, you probably bag yourself a really good deal buying privately. Another positive is the vast amount of locations available for you to go and look at for buying a Caravan. Online locations such as eBay, Auto Trader, Caravan Finder, Gumtree, they're all available and they all have adverts with caravans in it. You may have to drive some distance, you may find something close by, but either way, do check out the online resources. They will be surprised how much of a choice there really is. So on to some negatives of buying privately. Well, first up, you don't know who the seller is. I know that some people are lucky enough to buy their caravan through family members or friends, but generally speaking, you don't know who the seller is. So you need to be buyer beware. Listen to what they're saying and understand whether if they're telling you something which is true or a convenient truth. If something's not working, ask them why it's not working and engage to see whether the truth is, because that relates to my second point. If you buy a caravan privately, it's usually going to be sold as seen. For instance, you're not going to be able to return the caravan to them if it's no good. You're not going to be able to return it to them if something is broken, or if you later discover something isn't quite what it was. You are protected under some consumer rights, but it's a very dark and very murky and very long protracted route to go down if you buy something in good faith and it's not to how it was when it was sold to you. So please be careful when buying from an unknown quantity and make sure that everything works. Now, I roughly touched upon it that you don't have any comeback and it is sold as seen, and that's true. You won't get any warranty, you won't get any comeback, or you won't be able to get any guarantee that if something breaks or something breaks a few months down the line, you don't have any comeback to say, this broke whilst I was away. In fact, you'll have nowhere to take it back because you have no warranty at all. In those cases, your best bet is to contact a mobile engineer, get them to pop out and repair it for you. Now, if you are looking to buy a caravan privately, there are a great deal of resources available for you. CRIS registration, for instance, is just one of those where you can get a report back on the caravan to make sure that it is free of finance, that it hasn't been stolen, and that it hasn't been an insurance write-off. It's worthwhile going through that, and it's worthwhile paying a few pounds to double check that your caravan is okay. I'm going to be covering this more in my next video on my 11-point list. Another great resource is the AWS approved pre-purchase inspection, where a mobile engineer can come out and give you a completely impartial opinion on the caravan. It's worthwhile doing and it's available nationwide. I've put a link to the approved workshop scheme down below. You can filter it by location, and you can also hit a radio check button there just to make sure that you're only looking at engineers that offer the pre-purchase inspection. If you think about it compared to cars, it's a bit like the AA checklist, you know, where they come up and they give you 100 and something other checkpoint to make sure your car is okay. So my final thought, should you buy from a dealership or should you buy privately? Well, I can't really answer that one. That's on you. You need to answer that because you will have circumstances and you will have reasons to go down one or the other. If your budget is quite small and quite tight, generally speaking, you're not going to find a great range of caravans from a dealership. However, if you go to the private sales market, there will be abundance of caravans available for your budget. However, if you want something which has got a bit of a warranty, a bit of a comeback, and something that you can buy from a trusted resource, I would suggest you go down the dealer route. The one final thing I will say though, is that buy it with your head and not your heart. Unlike when you buy a car, which you need for a particular reason, you're buying a caravan because you want to own a caravan. You want to experience a lifestyle, you want to experience holidays, and it's so very, very easy to get wrapped up with emotions which are going through your heart. What I will say is buy it with your head, be headstrong, and don't make a judgment or a decision based upon what your heart is saying. So in my next video, I've got an 11-point list of things that you should look for when buying a used caravan. It's quite an exhaustive list, and I've made it into a downloadable document which will be very useful for anybody who is buying a caravan. So stay tuned and look out for that one next week. But until then, many thanks for watching. Please do hit the subscribe button, hit the notification icon, and if you can do all of that, then I'll see you again next week. Many thanks for watching, guys. Take care now. Bye-bye.